So, speed endurance, people get this wrong because they hear speed endurance and they think it should be something that's like an endurance type workout. The speed is in front of the endurance, so that should show you that it needs to be fast. So when we talk about speed endurance, we're just talking about the ability to hold speed for a while. We're wanting them to be enduring over a long distance in speed. Now, one of the coolest things we've figured out as coaches is that racing just below or just above the race distance has the highest correlation to improved sports performance over that distance. It's not the actual distance itself. So if you had a kid run a 200 meters in practice versus having them run a 150 or a 250, that wouldn't be as effective as running the 150 or the 250. Why do you think that is? Why is it that the actual race distance doesn't correlate as well as just a little bit below or a little bit above? Why do you think that is?
The 150 you can go faster, and the 250 you're getting more endurance in.
Yeah, so you're working on, you're pretty specific in what you're doing. You're slightly overloading or you're slightly underloading. So there's something to be said for that. That's one. The other thing is the mental aspect. Are they ever going to run as fast in practice as they're going to be able to run in a meet? No way. Right? The brain has a governor, just like a car does. The brain makes negotiations with you all the time, whether you're aware of it or not. And it's going to hold back a little bit. It's never going to give you the same adrenaline pump as competition does. It just doesn't. Okay? It just doesn't. It doesn't create that alarm. And so a kid running a slower time in practice might screw with their head a little bit. They're like, I suck. You know, I only ran 22.7 today, coach, in practice. It's like, yeah, but Billy, you run 21.40. That's pretty good for a practice. I suck. You know, so that's one of the reasons why. Okay, so how do we do this? We use this as a race model for the 200. So they actually come out of the blocks, and those first set of cones is where we want them to drive to. Then the second set of cones is where we want them to transition to upright running mechanics. Then we have them run tight and tall, around the curve, okay? And then when they get to here, where you have the relay exchange zone, I set up cones to tell them this is where you float to the outside of the lane. We don't want them to do it all at once. We want them to take advantage of that centrifugal force as it's coming off the curve. So we want them to float out to the outside and slingshot off the curve. And so when that cone starts, we want them to slowly but surely flow through that exchange zone from the inside of the curve to the outside of the curve. We teach that. Then, when we get to the 100-meter mark, we have them A-run, which is that exaggerated high knee sprint, all the way down the last 50, forcing them to open up their stride and take advantage of that momentum that they built when they're coming off the curve. Now, with these, we provide huge breaks. We have them come out of blocks, and I use a starter's position. This is a race model. I'm trying to simulate what they would do in an actual race. Okay? And Coach Rodriguez is talking about, when he said I use this race, that's the race model that he was talking about. He actually had that on film. He tweeted that out last year. This is awesome. It's fun. It's a great thing to do on a Saturday when you don't have a meet because it kind of simulates a meet and you provide them huge recoveries in between. And it's kind of cool because if you're trying to get, like, let's say 30 kids through this, you know, by the time that 30 kids gets through, you're pretty close to being ready to go again, you know. So that works really well. It's a great work. Okay.